Hi guys, welcome to my presentation. My name is Erica, fellow classmate. It's kind of fun to do this and we see how we're putting faces to everybody at the end of the class. I am a nervous wreck though, so bear with me. I made a PowerPoint to go over with you guys and, hold on, I messed it up already, man. To go over with you guys on my case. I chose case 3.3. Target at the center, a battle over Plan B. This case really hit home with me, and I'm a very opinionated person, and so it's been interesting. I've worked in a pharmacy for years, PRN, and an inpatient pharmacy at a trauma center in our local Kansas City area. And I've been in the medical field, nursing side of things, and now I am in psychology. And I work in a psychology clinic 5 days a week. And so when it comes to medical topics like this, it really kind of just hits the soft spot for me. So I'm going to show you guys my presentation. I can't flip the camera around, but here we go. Let's see. Let's do it this way. Here's my mouse. Okay. Case 3.3, Target at the Center, a battle over Plan B, by Erica Green. Case 3.3 details. This was a case between Target Pharmacies versus Rachel Portia, a 27-year-old social worker who was just going in to get prescriptions for a contraceptive filled. She was filling 2 prescriptions, her normal birth control and her orthotricycline, and the Plan B pill. The pharmacist that was working refused to fill the Plan B for Rachel, per Rachel in an interview. According to Target, there was never a refusal to fill the prescription for Plan B. Planned Parenthood, however, got involved. Their president, Karen Pearl, accused Target of, I quote, attempting to cover up a misguided corporate policy that denies women access to contraceptions. This was, at the time, the latest of at least 12 refusals to the Plan B contraceptive pill Planned Parenthood tracked over the last 12 months. The White House was contacted over the matter because during the Bush administration, there was a decision made to delay the issue with the FDA over whether to grant the emergency contraception over-the-counter status, making it to where a prescription would not be needed. The White House, however, did not return any of these phone calls. How would you look at it? I picked 2 different views to look at this from. I tried to pick one that would see both sides so I could stay in the middle. I picked utilitarianism to start with. I felt like that they would want the prescription filled because it would ultimately give the patient the results that she wants to be happy. If the patient got the Plan B filled and had unprotected sex, she would be able to have it on hand and take it and keep from letting the embryo form. This would be the positive outcome for the patient, so she would not be responsible for being pregnant, aka patient being Rachel. If she could have the pill on hand, she would not have to be responsible about when she is having sex, which would ultimately make her happy. And then I chose the other view as Kant's view. However, I personally side with the second view. How I imagine someone would think that was like or in agreement with Kant. Kant believed in having goodwill, wit, intelligence, good judgment, and having character. These would all be things that he believed people should have or they should strive and want to have on a daily basis. With Kant believing you should strive to have those or have ethics and morals, I believe he would be against filling it to have it home on hand. One should be able to be responsible when having sex and use protection up front instead of killing an embryo, aka baby. I believe that he would think that if you did end up pregnant after having or trying to have responsible sex, that you should not have an option to kill a baby because you chose to have sex. You should then have to own up to the responsibility of your decisions. Conclusion of resolution. It should be the pharmacist's choice. If they do not believe in it, or if it is against their religion, they should not have to fill it. Other professions do not have to go against their religion. If they give the patient a reasonable time frame, that another pharmacist that is not against it that will fill it, and then they are not denying it as a store, just violating their own employee. I also feel like Target's solution to their Plan B contraceptive battle that happened between the pharmacist and Rachel was to offer it within a certain amount of time so that they were still honoring their employees' beliefs, but they were not denying the contraceptive to the patient. They would just have to wait a little bit longer. In my opinion, that was fair. If they wanted to, if they didn't like the time, if the patient didn't like the time frame that they were given, there's multiple other pharmacies that they could take their prescription to and go fill. Target's not denying it. They're just not making that employee fill it. And I think that was very reasonable of Target. If they give the, okay. So, everyone has rights and a choice and is entitled to live their life how they want. If they want the pill, that is their choice to me. Oh, sorry guys. I'm not good at this whole thing. And the pharmacist that is committing, and to the pharmacist that is committing murder in their eyes, depending on their beliefs. They don't want to have to be able to fill that pill. I do believe the exception for the pill would be if you were raped. I honestly think that that pill was probably created for if, you know, there was unfortunate circumstances that happened to the patients and they were raped or unwillingly ended up in a situation like that and was attacked and become pregnant from it or needed to take the pill to prevent being pregnant from it because it was unprotected. I feel like that was the original purpose of this pill. I agree with that part. I think another solution would be for them to write that on the script in a nonchalant way, like give it a diagnosis code so it's not embarrassable for the patient, but it's recognizable for the pharmacist to know this is what's going on, this is why they're wanting that pill, and then maybe the pharmacist would fill it. In other circumstances, I don't think the pharmacist should have to fill it. I think there's a fine line there. Here's some of the questions that I come up with that I thought maybe someone would ask. Is Target denying contraceptions by just not filling Plan B scripts when other contraceptions are available to purchase over the counter, i.e. condoms? According to Planned Parenthood, in our book, they accuse Target of denying contraception to the patient, but at the same time, the patient could walk over to the shelf and purchase condoms to prevent creating an embryo to start with. So in my opinion, Planned Parenthood specifically calls out Target in our reading, in our book, and says that they denied the patient contraceptive, point blank. Well, in my opinion, I don't feel like they did. They denied the Plan B. She didn't want to fill that prescription. She said someone else would fill it at a later date and time. But there were many other contraceptives that were there that could be purchased even without a prescription. And you know, I even thought about into consideration, what if they had an allergy to latex? There's non-latex condoms. She didn't have to have Plan B. She simply wanted it. Is it her right? Yes. But is it the pharmacist's right to not fill it? Absolutely. Another question I thought would be fun to ask is, what is your opinion on the matter? Should the pharmacist have to fill the Plan B pill even if it's against her beliefs? Or do you feel that the other contraceptives that were offered on the counter would be fine? Also, what other ways would there be to solve this issue? I feel like my plan of coming up with a diagnosis code so that the doctor could write on there to signal to the pharmacist that it was because of an emergency that was unwilling of the patient, i.e. rape, then maybe the pharmacist would be more apt to fill the prescription if it was a different scenario like that. There's ways to do that. There's diagnosis codes to keep the patient from being embarrassed. I'm really curious to hear what you guys have to say when you reply to my video. Thanks for bearing with me on my horrible video skills, and you guys have a great night.